Revolutionizing Democracy, How D.O.G.E. Plans to Engage 50 Million Citizens in a Government Overhaul. Date, February 8, 2025. Overview. The initiative to revolutionize democracy through the Department of Government Efficiency (D.O.G.E.) has been gaining momentum, particularly following its announcement in November 2024 by Elon Musk under the auspices of the Trump administration. The ambitious goal of this initiative is to engage 50 million citizens in a comprehensive government overhaul aimed at drastically reducing federal spending, targeting cuts of up to $2 trillion annually. This report details key developments, challenges, and implications associated with the D.O.G.E. initiative. Key developments and use cases. 1. State-level initiatives. A significant part of the D.O.G.E. initiative involves states, particularly those governed by Republican leadership, embarking on their own efficiency efforts. States like Texas and South Carolina have initiated committees to probe government operations for inefficiencies. The Texas House has formed a 13-member D.O.G.E. committee to evaluate state agencies, while South Carolina legislators are proposing the Commission on Fiscal Restraint and Government Efficiency. This trend illustrates a broader movement among red states to identify and eliminate redundancies in government processes fueled by fiscal pressures and political ideologies. 2. Historical context and models. The D.O.G.E. initiative's structure is inspired by the Base Realignment and Closure (BRAC) process, which successfully streamlined military operations in the 1980s and 1990s. By empowering an independent committee to propose closures of inefficient bases, BRAC overcame bureaucratic inertia. Advocates of D.O.G.E. hope to replicate this model, enabling quicker decision-making and effective cost-cutting measures in government operations. 3. Advocacy for efficiency. Supporters of the D.O.G.E. initiative argue for a systematic shift towards efficiency akin to the operational models seen in Musk's ventures like SpaceX and Tesla. These companies emphasize rapid iteration and lean operational strategies. The initiative pushes for reforms in government procurement processes to foster agility and innovation, reducing bureaucratic barriers that often stifle progress. 4. Skepticism and challenges. Despite its ambitious goals, the D.O.G.E. initiative faces skepticism, particularly regarding its feasibility. Critics in Congress expressed doubts about Musk's and Ramaswamy's grasp of governmental operations and the practicality of implementing such sweeping changes. Concerns are raised that the proposed cuts could disrupt essential public services, as the distinction between waste and vital services is often subjective. 5. Impact on services. The debate around government efficiency raises critical questions about the balance between fiscal responsibility and the provision of essential public services. What one group perceives as waste, another may view as necessary support for the community. This subjective nature of efficiency presents challenges in defining and implementing reforms without adversely affecting public welfare. Timeline of events. November 2024, Elon Musk announces the D.O.G.E. initiative as part of the Trump administration's agenda. February 2025, red states like Texas and South Carolina begin forming committees modeled after D.O.G.E. to identify inefficiencies. Ongoing, the initiative faces scrutiny from various political factions, raising questions about its overall feasibility and potential impact on essential services. Comprehensive analysis. The D.O.G.E. initiative signifies a bold attempt to overhaul government operations through a lens of efficiency and cost reduction. While its model has potential as evidenced by historical successes like the BRAC process, actual implementation is fraught with complexities that intertwine fiscal policy with the provision of public services. Historical context. The BRAC model. The BRAC process provides a compelling case study for the D.O.G.E. initiative. Established during the Reagan administration, BRAC allowed for military base closures based on efficiency rather than political considerations. The process included an independent committee that could propose closures which Congress had to approve or disapprove as a whole. preventing individual lawmakers from blocking cuts that benefited their districts. This model not only streamlined military operations but also saved significant taxpayer dollars. For D.O.G.E. to achieve similar success, it must be structured to avoid the pitfalls of political gridlock. This could involve establishing a similar fast-track process for proposed efficiency measures, ensuring that controversial cuts are not diluted by individual political interests. The role of technology and innovation. Musk's entrepreneurial background emphasizes the importance of technology in driving efficiency. By applying principles from private industry, such as rapid prototyping and iterative design, the D.O.G.E. initiative could potentially transform government operations. The current procurement model, bogged down by excessive approval processes and paperwork, could benefit from a Musk-inspired approach that prioritizes speed and innovation. For instance, the application of generative AI and digitization could streamline procurement processes, allowing for faster and more effective delivery of services. Emphasizing a focus on results over process could lead to significant improvements in government efficiency. Public engagement and citizen involvement. Engaging 50 million citizens in this initiative represents a novel approach to reforming government. By involving the public in identifying inefficiencies and proposing solutions, D.O.G.E. aims to create a participatory model of governance. This could foster greater accountability and responsiveness to the needs of citizens. However, achieving meaningful engagement will require innovative outreach strategies and effective communication to ensure diverse voices are heard. Conclusion. The D.O.G.E. initiative represents an unprecedented effort to reshape government efficiency and spending. While its goals are ambitious, the pathway to achieving them is fraught with challenges, including political resistance, public skepticism, and the subjective nature of government services. Drawing lessons from historical precedents like the BRAC process, leveraging technological advancements, and actively engaging citizens will be crucial to the initiative's success. The coming months will reveal whether D.O.G.E. can overcome these hurdles and enact meaningful change in the structure and function of government. Counterintuitive information in the content. 1. Government efficiency versus essential services. The push for government efficiency often leads to a dichotomy where what one group sees as waste another may view as a fundamental service. This is counterintuitive because the aim of efficiency typically suggests a universal understanding of waste, when in fact the interpretation of government functions is highly subjective and context-dependent. Citizens in different regions or with varying political affiliations may prioritize services differently, complicating the notion of what it means to cut waste. 2. Historical precedents. While the D.O.G.E. initiative draws inspiration from the Base Realignment and Closure BRAC process, the historical success of such initiatives is limited. The BRAC saved approximately $40 billion, which is less than 5% of military spending in a given year, illustrating that even well-structured efficiency efforts may only yield modest results. The counterintuitive aspect here is the high expectations placed on D.O.G.E. to cut $2 trillion, a figure that vastly exceeds the savings achieved by BRAC, suggesting a disconnect between ambition and historical outcomes. 3. Perception of waste. The assertion that one person's concept of waste is another person's vital service highlights a counterintuitive reality in governance. Efficiency initiatives can inadvertently undermine public trust and support for services that may be deemed essential by certain populations. This complicates the narrative around cutting spending, as it can lead to public backlash against perceived threats to valued services, contradicting the goal of streamlining operations. For Musk's business model versus government constraints, Elon Musk's entrepreneurial success is often attributed to his ability to innovate and cut through bureaucratic red tape. The counterintuitive observation here is that while Musk's methods may revolutionize the private sector, applying the same principles to government operations is fraught with challenges due to differing accountability structures, public expectations, and the nature of governmental responsibilities. This suggests that the application of private sector efficiency models to government may not yield the anticipated results. 5. Federal versus state efficiency efforts. The enthusiasm for efficiency in red states as seen with the creation of state-level DOGE initiatives contrasts with the skepticism at the federal level where critics question the feasibility of sweeping cuts. This reflects a counterintuitive divide where state governments, often seen as more flexible and adaptable, are pursuing similar efficiency goals while facing their own bureaucratic complexities, suggesting that the challenges of inefficiency are not exclusive to federal operations. 6. Reality of budget cuts. The assertion that states are cutting from a very high base challenges the narrative that cuts will be painful or detrimental to services. This implies a counterintuitive perspective that given the current economic conditions and surplus revenues in many states, efficiency measures may not necessitate severe reductions in service levels, thereby complicating the argument for drastic cuts. 7. Legislative gridlock. The BRAC model's success stemmed from its ability to bypass legislative gridlock, which is typically seen as a barrier to efficient governance. The counterintuitive element here is that while DOGE aims to replicate this success, the political landscape may still be too fragmented and polarized for similar bypassing to be effective, raising doubts about whether the initiative can achieve its ambitious goals. 8. Public perception of government size. The historical context of government size and the perception of bureaucracy as bloated has not significantly changed despite repeated promises to reduce it. This counterintuitive observation suggests that the public may be skeptical of new initiatives that promise efficiency, as there is a long-standing narrative of unmet expectations regarding government reform. 9. Long-term versus short-term gains. While efficiency drives are often framed as immediate solutions to budgetary problems, the reality may be that most efficiencies take time to implement and yield results. This counterintuitive timing suggests that the rush to cut spending without due consideration of long-term impacts could backfire, leading to service disruptions that ultimately cost more in the long run. 10. Potential for redundancy. Many states already have existing bodies focused on government efficiency, raising the question of whether new initiatives like DOGE are necessary or if they merely add another layer of bureaucracy. This highlights a counterintuitive irony where efforts to streamline can lead to increased complexity rather than simplification, suggesting that the solutions may not be as straightforward as proposed. These counterintuitive insights reveal the multifaceted challenges and potential contradictions inherent in the pursuit of government efficiency through initiatives like DOGE, underscoring the complexity of reforming democratic processes and public administration. The report on the Department of Government Efficiency DOGE initiative, spearheaded by Elon Musk and supported by the Trump administration, outlines a bold plan to engage 50 million citizens in a comprehensive overhaul of government operations. While the overarching themes of efficiency and cost-cutting are widely discussed, several nuanced aspects of the report may be overlooked. Yet they carry significant implications for understanding the potential impact and challenges of this initiative. 1. State-level initiatives reflecting broader trends. One critical detail that may be underestimated is the emergence of state-level DOGE-inspired initiatives. The formation of committees in states like Texas and South Carolina exemplifies a grassroots movement towards government efficiency that mirrors federal ambitions. This trend indicates a broader acceptance of the DOGE framework beyond federal jurisdiction, suggesting that if these initiatives prove successful at the state level, they could create a ripple effect leading to nationwide reforms. Significance. States often serve as laboratories for policy experimentation. If these DOGE-inspired committees identify genuine efficiencies and cost savings, they could validate the DOGE model and provide a template for broader application. The success of state initiatives could also shift public opinion in favor of federal reforms, thereby influencing the political landscape and increasing pressure on Congress to adopt similar measures. 2. Historical context and the BRAC model. The report draws a parallel between DOGE and the Base Realignment and Closure BRAC process, which was effective in streamlining military operations. While the BRAC model is highlighted, the nuances of its design are often glossed over. The BRAC process was not merely about cost-cutting, it included a structured approach that allowed for decision-making insulated from political pressures. which is crucial in a system often mired in partisanship. Significance: understanding the BRAC model's success hinges on recognizing its procedural safeguards that minimized local political interference. By applying similar principles to D.O.G.E, such as an independent committee with fast-track authority to propose cuts, D.O.G.E could potentially overcome the bureaucratic inertia that often stymies significant reforms. This aspect could be pivotal in determining whether D.O.G.E can achieve its ambitious goals without being stifled by legislative gridlock. 3. Subjectivity of efficiency and public services. Another critical detail that may not receive adequate attention is the subjective nature of what constitutes waste in government spending. As highlighted in the report, the line between essential services and wasteful expenditures is often blurred, with different stakeholders holding varying perspectives on what should be prioritized. Significance: this subjectivity presents a significant challenge for the D.O.G.E initiative. Efforts to cut costs may inadvertently target services that certain communities deem essential, leading to public backlash and resistance. The initiative's success will depend heavily on its ability to navigate these perceptions and engage citizens in a dialogue that addresses their needs while pursuing efficiency. If not managed carefully, the initiative risks alienating significant portions of the populace, undermining its legitimacy and effectiveness. 4. Skepticism and political feasibility. While the report acknowledges skepticism regarding the feasibility of achieving the proposed $2 trillion cuts, it is essential to delve deeper into the implications of this skepticism. Critics within Congress voice concerns about Musk and Ramaswamy's understanding of governmental operations, which could reflect broader apprehensions about the practicality of implementing such sweeping changes. Significance: the skepticism surrounding D.O.G.E may not only impact its immediate objectives but also shape the political landscape. If key congressional leaders perceive the initiative as unrealistic or disconnected from the complexities of governance, it could hinder bipartisan support and stymie necessary reforms. Building confidence among lawmakers and the public will be crucial for D.O.G.E to gain traction and navigate the political hurdles inherent in overhauling governmental operations. 5. Impact on essential services. The report hints at the potential consequences of efficiency-driven reforms on essential public services. Yet this aspect deserves further scrutiny. The tension between cost-cutting measures and the preservation of vital services could lead to a contentious debate about the priorities of government spending. Significance: this debate is not merely theoretical. It has real-world implications for citizens who rely on government services. Policymakers must navigate these waters carefully, as any perceived diminishment of essential services could provoke significant public outcry. The challenge lies in effectively communicating the rationale behind cuts while ensuring that the most vulnerable populations are not disproportionately affected. Failing to do so could jeopardize the initiative's legitimacy and viability. 6. The role of citizen engagement. The ambitious goal of engaging 50 million citizens in the D.O.G.E initiative emphasizes the importance of public participation in government reform. However, the mechanisms for achieving this level of engagement are not thoroughly explored in the report. Significance: genuine citizen engagement is critical for the success of any reform initiative, particularly one as broad as D.O.G.E. Strategies for outreach, education, and involvement will determine whether the initiative can build a coalition of support across diverse demographics. Failure to develop a robust engagement strategy could result in a lack of public buy-in, undermining the initiative's goals and potentially leading to its failure. Conclusion: the D.O.G.E initiative represents a significant attempt to redefine the landscape of American governance through efficiency and cost-cutting measures. However, the nuances embedded within the report, such as the implications of state-level initiatives, the historical context of the BRAC model, the subjectivity of efficiency, political skepticism, the impact on essential services, and the necessity for citizen engagement, are critical to understanding both the potential and the challenges of this ambitious endeavor. Recognizing and addressing these overlooked aspects will be essential for D.O.G.E to navigate the complexities of governmental reform and achieve its stated objectives. 1. State-level initiatives and political dynamics. The D.O.G.E initiative has catalyzed a wave of similar efforts in red states, reflecting a significant political trend towards government efficiency. States like Texas and South Carolina are establishing committees to identify inefficiencies mirroring the D.O.G.E's overarching objectives. This is indicative of a broader Republican strategy to align state-level governance with federal initiatives aimed at reducing the size and cost of government. The formation of these committees underscores the political will to address budgetary challenges, with various states seeking to tackle perceived waste and redundancies within their operations. However, the effectiveness of these initiatives raises questions about the potential for real change versus political posturing, especially given the existence of pre-existing government watchdogs and efficiency panels. 2. Historical context and structural models. The D.O.G.E initiative draws on the historical model of the Base Realignment and Closure BRAC process, which successfully streamlined military operations by allowing an independent committee to propose closures of inefficient bases. This model is proposed as a framework for D.O.G.E, suggesting that an independent commission could bypass bureaucratic inertia and foster quicker decision-making. The BRAC process involved a fast-track legislative mechanism that compelled Congress to act on proposed cuts without the usual delays associated with legislative processes. The success of D.O.G.E may depend on adopting similar structural measures to ensure that proposed efficiencies can be enacted swiftly and effectively. Avoiding the pitfalls of bureaucratic gridlock. 3. Advocacy for streamlined government operations. Advocates for the D.O.G.E initiative argue for a significant overhaul of government procurement and operational processes inspired by the efficiency models of private enterprises like SpaceX and Tesla. This push emphasizes the need for agility in governmental operations, aiming to reduce bureaucratic barriers that stifle innovation. The call for a Musk-like mindset in government highlights the potential benefits of adopting lean operational models and rapid iteration in public service delivery. However, the challenge lies in translating private sector efficiencies into a public sector context where the goals and operational frameworks differ significantly. The debate centers on whether a focus on efficiency could inadvertently compromise essential services that are vital to many citizens. For skepticism and feasibility concerns, the ambitious goal of cutting government spending by $2 trillion annually has drawn skepticism from various stakeholders, including critics within Congress who question the practicality of such sweeping reforms. Concerns revolve around whether Musk and Ramaswamy possess a sufficient understanding of government operations to effect meaningful change. Critics argue that the proposed cuts could lead to disruptions in essential services, highlighting the subjective nature of what constitutes waste versus vital services. The feasibility of achieving significant budgetary reductions while maintaining necessary public services presents a complex challenge, underscoring the potential pitfalls of the D.O.G.E initiative. This skepticism is crucial for understanding the political and operational landscape in which D.O.G.E operates and may impact its overall success and acceptance. 1. The Base Realignment and Closure BRAC process 1988-present, initiated during the Reagan administration. The BRAC process was designed to close and realign military bases to increase efficiency and reduce costs. The process involved the establishment of an independent commission to evaluate base operations and propose closures. This framework sought to bypass congressional gridlock, allowing for a more streamlined decision-making process. The BRAC has been credited with saving billions of dollars and redirecting resources to more effective military operations, serving as a potential model for initiatives like D.O.G.E. 2. The New Deal 1933 to 1939. Under President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the New Deal was a series of programs and reforms aimed at revitalizing the American economy during the Great Depression. The initiative engaged millions of citizens through various public works programs, social security reforms, and economic recovery efforts. The New Deal transformed government operations and established a precedent for federal involvement in the economy. highlighting the potential for significant government overhaul driven by citizen engagement and innovative policymaking. 3. The Great Society 1964–1965, launched by President Lyndon B. Johnson. The Great Society aimed to eliminate poverty and racial injustice through a series of initiatives including Medicare, Medicaid, and various civil rights legislations. This ambitious program significantly expanded the role of the federal government in American life and involved extensive public engagement in the legislative process. The Great Society represents a historical example of a comprehensive government overhaul that aimed to enhance efficiency and effectiveness in delivering social services, paralleling the goals of the D.O.G.E. initiative. The initiative to revolutionize democracy through the Department of Government Efficiency (D.O.G.E), led by Elon Musk and supported by the Trump administration, is poised to reshape governance by engaging 50 million citizens in a comprehensive government overhaul. This ambitious plan aims to significantly cut government spending, targeting reductions of up to $2 trillion annually. As this initiative unfolds, several key developments and predictions for the future can be anticipated. Key developments. 1. State-level initiatives. Following the announcement of D.O.G.E., several red states are launching their own efficiency programs inspired by this model. Texas and South Carolina, for instance, are forming committees to identify inefficiencies within state agencies. This state-level movement may lead to a broader acceptance of efficiency initiatives across the country, potentially influencing blue states to adopt similar measures. 2. Historical models. The D.O.G.E. initiative draws parallels with the Base Realignment and Closure (BRAC) process, which successfully streamlined military operations in the past. By adopting a similar independent committee model, D.O.G.E. may circumvent bureaucratic inertia, enabling quicker decision-making and implementation of cost-saving measures. 3. Advocacy for agile governance. Proponents of D.O.G.E. advocate for a government that operates with the same efficiency as Musk's private enterprises. The push for agile procurement and operational processes could lead to significant innovations in how government services are delivered, although critics warn that the subjective nature of what constitutes waste may complicate these efforts. 4. Skepticism and challenges. Despite its ambitious goals, the D.O.G.E. initiative faces skepticism from various political factions. Critics argue that the proposed cuts may harm essential public services and question whether the initiative can overcome entrenched interests and bureaucratic resistance. Future outlook. 1. Increased citizen engagement. The initiative aims to engage 50 million citizens, which could lead to a new era of participatory governance. As citizens become more involved in discussions about government efficiency and spending, we may see a shift in public expectations regarding accountability and transparency in government operations. 2. Potential for bipartisan support. While the initiative is spearheaded by the Trump administration, the universal desire for government efficiency may foster bipartisan support. If D.O.G.E. can demonstrate tangible benefits such as reduced taxes or improved services, it may garner backing from both sides of the political spectrum. 3. Expansion of efficiency models. If D.O.G.E. proves successful at the federal level, other states may adopt similar models. This could lead to a nationwide trend towards efficiency, prompting local governments to reassess their operations in pursuit of cost savings and improved public services. 4. By technological integration, the incorporation of advanced technologies including AI and data analytics could revolutionize government operations. By streamlining processes and enhancing decision-making capabilities, these technologies may enable governments to operate more efficiently, akin to the innovative approaches seen in the private sector. 5. Potential backlash and resistance. As with any significant overhaul, there is the potential for backlash. Public services viewed as essential may face cuts, leading to public outcry. Government officials will need to navigate these challenges carefully to maintain public support while pursuing efficiency. 6. Long-term impact on governance. Should D.O.G.E. succeed, it may set a precedent for future governance models emphasizing efficiency and accountability. This could alter the landscape of public administration, making government more responsive to citizens' needs while potentially shifting the balance of power towards a more decentralized, citizen-driven approach. 7. Evaluation of program effectiveness. The success of D.O.G.E will ultimately hinge on its ability to deliver measurable results. Continuous evaluation and adjustment of strategies will be critical to ensure that the initiative meets its goals without sacrificing essential services. Conclusion. The D.O.G.E initiative represents a bold attempt to revolutionize democracy and governance by emphasizing efficiency, accountability, and citizen engagement. While there are significant challenges and skepticism surrounding its implementation, the potential for transformative change is substantial. As the initiative unfolds, it will be crucial to monitor its impact on government operations, public services, and citizen involvement in democratic processes. The future of D.O.G.E will likely reshape not only the functioning of government but also the relationship between citizens and their government, ushering in a new era of participatory and efficient democracy.